Welcome back to Sports Dump, Lewis County's only sports podcast, sponsored by Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery, Global Septic, and AmeriCool Heating and Cooling. I'm Aaron Van Tile, joined tonight by sports editor Josh Kirschenbaum, sports reporter Dylan Wilhelm, and sports clerk Kody Christian. And do you guys have anything you'd like to share as we get into this?
Why did you just set a whistle off?
I just wanted to see if you guys want to talk about our newest sound effect.
Oh, we have a new sound effect. It goes with this one and this one.
God, those are cranked way the hell up on this board.
What should we just hit the soundboard like every couple seconds here?
It's just like as you see fit, you know.
We like the whistles here.
People are gonna love that.
It's the rap show, baby.
Inadvertent by any chance?
And possibly we'll might get into that later.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, nobody get on a roll because we'll hit that whistle and stop you dead in your tracks.
Just pause the momentum of the game. All right. We're going to start with the 8-man games this week. And the eternal question, how many points is too many points?
I told Dylan to put this in the notes because I know how you feel about points.
I love points.
Is there such a thing as too many points?
I do not think so.
All right.
I don't believe it. Although Rainier is making me question that.
Why's that?
82-52 over Acosta. These used to be two prominent 2B teams. What are we doing here?
Why don't Acosta used to be prominent?
They were okay there for a while. I think they almost made state maybe a couple years ago, 5, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't know.
Just keep going.
It could have happened at some point.
In a metric Kody lifetime?
Yeah. In 3/4 of a Kody ago, they might have been good.
I'm like 4 or 5 years younger than you two.
That's true. Rainier put up 82 and an 82-52 win over Acosta. They dipped down to 8-man due to low numbers for Acosta. It kind of looks like maybe they should both just stay there.
Well, I mean, this is the weird, the kind of dumb thing is the whole idea of this West division is to get teams to stay in 11-man and not drop down to 8-man. And apparently, as soon as the season started, Acosta was like, yeah, we're going to do 8-man anyway.
Great.
So this was technically a league game.
So now everyone's going to play him in 8-man and be like, hey, maybe we should try this out permanently.
Yeah, what if Onalaska's or Napavine is like, hey, we got to play Rainier. We're gonna drop down to 8-man too, just for the hell of it.
Just in case you didn't think that Rainier had explosive options, let's just free the field up for them.
Jake Meldrum was 17 of 21 passing for 543 yards and 9 touchdowns. What is 543 divided by 17?
Just a whole lot.
Does anybody want to pull that up real quick?
31.9.
31.9 yards per completion. Pretty good. If I were the coach, I would simply pass 3 times and score a touchdown.
It seems to be like that's what they did.
Yeah, you know what? 9 touchdowns. It looks like they passed 2 times and scored a touchdown. Josh Meldrum, Hunter Howell, and Jared Sprowski all had over 100 yards and multiple receiving touchdowns. Chris Gray also topped 100 yards, rushing for 87 and adding 52 receiving. Rainier, are they getting better?
They seem to be pretty darn good at what they're doing. And yeah, if you give them some extra space and take out 3 defenders, they're even better.
I don't know. Good for Rainier. You know what? They're going to be talking about this for a long time.
I mean, yeah, and they're just going to keep going. I'm going to say it every week. The schedule that they've got going forward, they're only going to keep speed up. So good for them. It's been a good season for them so far.
When I was making up the graphic for this one for the Instagram, I had to keep telling myself that 82 points wasn't a typo.
Yeah, it's a lot. And if you thought that was too many, maybe you'll be happier with a more reserved Mossy Rock win, in which they scored 76 points to beat Chief Leschi, which scored 34. They led 16-0 after a quarter. Finally, things are getting back to normal. But the two teams combined for 58 in the second half, and Mossy Rock led 52-22 at the break. Easton Cole ran for 225 yards and 3 touchdowns on 21 carries, while also going 6 of 8 passing for 169 yards and a touchdown. And Peyton McClure was all over the field with a receiving touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and a scoop and score on defense. Mossy Rock, they still undefeated 8-man?
They are undefeated 8-man. This was actually the first league game that they gave up points. So the shutout streak is over, so don't know about that.
And then did they play, Peel Valley in 11-man?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they lost that game.
All right. And then, now this is just looking low score, just a drought of points here. Winlock tops Oakville 63-40.
A game that only had 103 points.
Yeah, off Cousin's big night. Cousin, did we ever determine this?
Nope.
All right. Well, either way, James Cousin ran for 287 yards, 5 touchdowns. Mason Reeves also ran in 2 scores, and the Cardinals had 364 rushing yards. Not quite Rochester numbers, but not bad. Their defense forced 6 turnovers, and everything good for the Acorns came through the air. Is Giovanni Rodas. Dude, I'd love to see a good Giovanni name in the box scores. Just nothing tickles my fancy more. Went 17 for 30 with 376 yards and 6 touchdowns. 5 of those went to Daniel Rodas, who logged 258 yards on 13 catches. Is Daniel Giovanni's brother, cousin?
Older brother.
Man, he really got the less exciting name. Poor guy.
Parents were like, we want to try again, I guess.
They're like, let's spice this one up a bit.
This was the one I went to, and for trying to get, mostly I won't be able to, get to watch Oakville and Winlock, and man, for trying to get an easy game that would get me back in the office quickly for the roundup, this was the wrong move, man.
103 points.
And I mean, Oakville just threw the ball every single play. They couldn't run. Winlock was in the backfield every single play, so it was pretty much just 3 incompletions, which all of them stopped the clock, and then a 30-yard pass play whenever Oakville got the ball. And Cusson had a huge night. So last week he ran for 366 yards, and this week was 287. He also kicks for them. He kicked an extra point. He went 1 for 2 on extra points. He also threw 2 interceptions. They really wanted to hit a double pass with him, and it just was not working. The end of the first half, Winlock was up 20 points or whatever, and they got the ball back with a minute 6 seconds left. They throw a pitch play to Cusson, who comes up firing, throws it downfield, it gets picked off. Oakville takes over with 50 seconds left. First play, fumbles it back. Winlock takes over. First play of the next drive. Pitch play to Cusson, throws it downfield, gets picked off again. Talking to Ernie Samples after the game, he was like, okay, so he's got a couple things to work on, but when we just hand the ball off to him, good things happen. So Winlock started off 0-3. Now they won 2 straight, and kind of when they're taking on, the not Mossy Rocks or Nacelles of the area, they're going to go back to running through. I mean, this is, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, these are Nolan Swafford numbers.
Yeah.
For Winlock, just absolutely bowling through people.
All right, this podcast brought to you by Global Septic, providing septic service and portable sanitation for Thurston, Lewis, Mason, Cowlitz, and Grace Harbor counties.
What was the joke we made last time when you need to dump out a lot of points?
Yeah. If you need to dump out an 8-man amount of points, 8, never mind. Call Global Septic, providing septic pumping, inspection, riser installation, commercial septic pumping, grease trap services, porta potty rentals, and portable sink rentals.
If your grease trap is clogged up with points, they'll clear it out for you.
They sure were. But just remember, don't flush those points. Visit globalseptic.com or call 360-736-2167 to learn more. And now on to the 2Bs, and we're back on the C2BL podcast. Adna pulls away late for a 53-32 win over Stevenson. They trailed at halftime, but took an early lead in the third, never looked back. As a team, they piled up 359 yards rushing, led by Elijah Jimenez, who tallied 163 yards and a touchdown on 24 carries. Lane Johnson added 105 yards, got in the end zone 3 times. Gavin Muller had a receiving touchdown and 2 sacks. Anthony Sturdivant had 3 sacks, and Stephen Odell also had 2 sacks. Are the Pirates back?
Well, Kody was the one that thought Stevenson was all that, so maybe?
I mean, I think everyone presumed this was going to be a blowout for Adna, and that's what at least you 3 were saying. I was like, hang on now. Not so fast. And I think it was tied or close to tied at halftime, so I was kind of telling all my friends who were shocked by the score, I was like, hey, man, you should have listened to the podcast. I called this. I got all the insights. So
You just had the hottest takes on this game, and they were correct, apparently.
Yeah.
Does Adna's coach, isn't he from Goldendale? Isn't that relatively close to Steven? That's not super far away, though.
It's closer than Stevenson is to Adna.
Yeah.
Stevenson isn't close to anything.
It's close to White Salmon. It's
close to Hermiston.
Close to Hood River, maybe.
Oregon.
Yeah.
One
Gorge.
One more thing about Adna real quick is just that Cochran has been pleased. He commended Lane Johnson just for his progress throughout the course of the season. It doesn't quite seem like it's to the point where if he goes, the offense goes, but it certainly helps. And he's been pleased with his progress, and he showed out in a big way on Friday.
Are they ready?
I'll take this one more seriously than their win over White Swan. I'll just say that.
That's fair. Are they ready for Toledo?
I don't know.
Okay, it's not really close to Goldendale, but you know, it's closer than
same
it is to
state.
here. Yeah,
Jeez, remember when they had to play Forks in a league game?
yeah, like a 4-hour drive.
You wish that's a 6-hour drive.
Yeah, that's pretty
From
far.
Stevenson to Forks?
Yeah.
That's probably more than 6.
COVID
Oh, I
year.
mean, from here it's 4.
Yeah, the COVID year that was a volleyball match.
Yeah, Jesus, whatever.
It's 3.5 to Stevenson from here, so
Yeah, it's like
Grand total
Is
of
it?
7.5.
It's not that. It's not 3.5 to Stevenson.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's like 2.5.
On a bus feels like 7.
Well, on a bus, yeah. If you're driving a car, it's much faster. Napavine bounces back and beats Morton White Pass 43-6. We joked about how you don't want to be Morton White Pass last week. That was true. Napavine was up 43-0 after 3. They ran for 249 yards and held the Timberwolves to just 5 passing yards on 8 attempts. They still have not lost back-to-back games since 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took the call from Lee Metcalf at MWP, and you mentioned not wanting to be in WP. Pretty standard. I just said, how'd it go? And he just said, well, we played Napavine. How do you think it went? Which we both laughed about it, but pretty standard Napavine here.
Yeah, I'm sure they were fired up for this one.
Yeah, me and Dylan were sitting in the office and the phone rings and he reads it and he goes, "Oh no." It read Lee Metcalf.
He's a pro. I'm sure he was good at it.
He was a good
Yeah.
a good sport about it. Had a lot to say, and he had a few good things to say, but he also added like they're a buzzsaw. Like there's not really much you could do.
Yeah.
You can tell that Josh Fay respects him because it was 43-6. We're just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was told the JV players were in the second quarter.
Yep.
Yeah. Toledo holds off PL Valley for a 27-24 win. This is probably one of the ones we looked at as being like it's supposed to be a tight game, right?
His game of the Cody's
My
game of the year.
personal preseason most intriguing matchup.
And did it live up to that, do you feel?
Well, it
Not
lives
to
up
hear
to
to
it
the
in a
code.
way.
if you just look at the final score. Yes.
Okay. Toledo led 27-0 at half. What? PL
Yes.
scored 24 in the second half to get within 3. Titans had the ball near midfield with a chance to tie or take the lead, but Toledo was able to hold them to seal the win. Also, saying they had the ball at midfield with a chance to tie, like they're not going to come out and kick a 60-yard
Hey,
field goal.
remember they had a kicker last year. I don't know.
Yeah,
They didn't have that big
They did for
that
like
much.
4 years. He's gone now, but
I put that more thinking like if they can get like inside the
within
red zone,
PL
maybe,
Valley,
maybe throw your soccer player out there.
Yeah, the one team other than Wakayakum who historically would try to kick like a 30-yard field goal.
they need to punch that thing right through the uprights, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking to Mike Christensen, he was like, yeah, that was like, I mean, that first half, we were like some of the best we've shown all season long, especially after a tough match on Alaska. And then, man, halftime came and everything else kind of sucked.
Where was this one at?
Toledo.
Okay.
And it was the opposite for Nate Smith. He was like, I wish we could have played like that the whole day after halftime.
We did get some comments on Facebook from PWV fans complaining about officiating. So I don't know if there was some home cooking at Ted Hippie Field. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, at least they were complaining about the stats this time.
Yeah.
The Riverhawks struggled with ball security, losing 3 fumbles, but ran for 229 yards.
Those 3 fumbles were their 3 first drives of the second half, and they turned into all 3 of PWV's touchdowns.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like it was the difference. PL Val, I wouldn't say they lost. They just ran out of time, man.
Yeah.
Could have had them. Kalamatops on Alaska in a back-and-forth affair. And, guys, you can just throw out the records when it comes to Kalama on Alaska. There is no love lost
Yeah.
between these two teams.
It was, I mean, yeah, you just throw out on Alaska's 1-0 league record and Kalama's 0-0 league record. You don't know what's going to happen.
Throw them out. Yeah. I'm sure they both came to play. Kalama led 22-6 at the break. The Loggers tied it at 36 with just over 5 minutes left. Aiden Brown scored the game-winning touchdown for Kalama with 29 seconds left. Caden Mazingo ran for 333 yards on 23 carries. Jesus. And Rodrigo Rodriguez added 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. How many yards did they total have? 500?
Something like that. This was pretty much the replay of the game they played in the COVID season.
What was the final score on this?
44-36 Kalama.
Sounds like a banger.
Yeah, and so it was the 22-6 at the halftime, and then the second half was just the scoring summary was like, let's pull it up. It was like Mazingo 43-yard touchdown run. Brown 50-yard touchdown run. Mazingo 51-yard touchdown run. Ani had 465 rushing yards. And yeah, the second half touchdowns was a short Rodriguez run, and then Mazingo 41 yards. Brown pass. Mazingo 58-yard. Brown 43-yard run. Mazingo 43-yard run. Just laser show back and forth.
Nice. All right, on Alaska, are they going to be okay?
I don't know. I mean,
Did they have an apple harvest hangover or what?
I don't know. Maz was, I don't want to say dejected, but he was not mad. He was just like outwardly mad. He was just a little bit
disappointed.
He was he was quiet. And he was saying like, can they bounce back from this performance wise? Yeah, definitely. Obviously, this is something that can make them stronger. But if you're in a division that you only have 3 league games to work with, they went from like the difference between 2-0 and 1-1 is astronomical in that league. Like,
yeah,
they went from obvious favorites to just see things out and win that league title, just having beaten Toledo and being 1-0. And now they're kind of in the hole, and it just took one not even bad performance, just tough result. So I don't know if they can bounce back from this in terms of a league title. Again, once you get to the postseason, they're going to be fine. But yeah.
So would Kalama be in the running then for the league title?
There's 4 teams. They're all in the league running for the league title.
Well, like front running, I meant.
I mean, yeah. Now, so right now, Kalama's 1-0, and remember, you get 3 league games, and nobody plays multiple. Like everybody has non-league worked in. So Kalama's 1-0, Ani's 1-1. Toledo's 0-1, and Adna hasn't played a league game yet. So,
all right, Kalama, leader in the clubhouse.
Currently,
Is this the first we've seen them match up against a local team, right?
Who?
Kalama?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Now we know.
Moving up the classification ladder, Tenino dominates Holcomb 51-13 for their first win. They led 30-7 at halftime. Michael Vassar found the end zone 4 times, and Kody Strawn had 3 total touchdowns. Jack Burkhart nabbed an interception and added a receiving touchdown for Tenino. Are the Beavers back?
Not only are the Beavers back, the Beavers are one way away from clinching a crossover spot.
What is going on?
The Tenino sleeper pick lives on.
That was their first win?
That was their first win. They're 1-1 in league. There's 5 teams in the league, and 4 go to the crossover, so they just have to not finish last.
You know what? I have a hot take. We have too many leagues.
I think we have the right amount of leagues.
No, we have too many.
Just too many crossover spots.
Well, we just need to eliminate like half of these leagues and put the teams that are left into the existing leagues.
Yeah. Or just only have the top 2 teams go to
Just
crossover.
like, too bad we deleted the Thanos button, because this would be a good time to be like, just snap your fingers.
Instead,
When was the
we
last
just
time that
have
was used
whistles.
prior to today?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Get rid of some of the leagues.
Cody doesn't know that.
Oh, that's the button. That's why that chair is free, actually. We hit that button, and then one of the 4 podcast hosts would just disappear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the Thanos quote of like, we're in the end game. Was it we're in the end game now? Or no, that was an Iron Man thing.
Yeah, it was Iron Man. I don't know where you got Thanos from.
But Thanos, no, it was Thanos saying something, wasn't it?
Like,
Maybe it was Iron Man. I
I
don't
am
remember.
inevitable or something like that.
No, it was we're in the end game.
We had Bane on there forever. We should have put
I
Bane
do
back
remember
on.
Bane, yeah.
Can one of you guys imitate the Thanos sound for me?
No.
No.
I think Dylan was just about to, but you shut him down.
Go ahead.
From the
No, just get into the Elam's ad, man.
All right.
move on.
How about you do the Elam's ad in the Bane voice?
It's like that scene from Community where it's like, this scene was really challenging for everyone.
the Elam's home furnishings and mattress guy. Fatigue has defeated you. If you're in need of furniture or God, I got me thrown off thinking about Bane now. Elam's Home Furnishings and Sleep Center is a locally owned, family-owned, here-to-stay store for everything you guys might need. Any of you guys short on furniture? How you sitting up there? Dylan, how's your home situation? How are things at home, man?
They're fine, but my parents are downsizing, and my girlfriend's parents are downsizing, so we're actually set on furniture currently.
So
But in the future,
well, you know what you need to do?
Sell.
Your parents and your girlfriend's parents, tough shit. Throw all that crap in the
Elam's.
trash. Go down to Elam's Home Furnishings and Sleep Center and get yourself a beautiful, how about a dining room set? Maybe a nice dining room with some benches. Sit on those, feel like you're at work,
use
kind of.
that. I'm sitting here
Anyway.
just thinking we got beds, but I don't know if we got a table. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, you need a table, sit right next to the bed. You just like eat dinner and fall asleep. What more could you ask for? 1530 South Gold Street in Centralia. You can visit them online at elamshf.com. And now let's move to the two ways. WFOS tops Rochester.
Got to stop you there.
Okay,
We now get to why the inadvertent whistle is important.
go on.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
Dylan's been waiting for this moment all weekend.
Well, you could read the notes real quick if you like. But yeah, I really don't like harping on officiating, but these guys have got to swallow their whistles. Was it on Alaska Tenino, Kody and I were at, where there was at least 4?
Yeah.
That was like a 35-point game, so it didn't end up really mattering. But in this game, I believe it was Ethan Rodriguez.
In a 7-6 ball game, right?
It was a 14-6 ball game. Rochester needs a big play. They get a 66-yard touchdown after he kind of shimmies out of a pile. Lo and behold, line judge blew the whistle. Actually, he did, so it was weird. So I was on the Rochester sideline. He just kind of runs straight into just a group of dudes, right? And as you know, he kind of shimmies free, and I heard like it was almost like a chirp. Like instead of like fully blowing the whistle, it seemed like he kind of changed his mind. Everyone kind of stops. Rodriguez actually just starts taking off. A defender takes off with him. The line judge on the Rochester sideline ran all the way down, signaled touchdown, while the other refs were kind of standing back there talking, and then they end up bringing everybody back. It seems like he kind of didn't want to, but he already committed to it, so they ruled the play dead, even though everyone was still playing. It was just weird, and these guys got to let these plays go, because if that play stands, all of a sudden it's 14-12. Rochester has a chance to tie the game with a 2-point. The entire complexion of the rest of the game is different.
And the context is that WF West went on to score 14 unanswered and won 28-6.
Rochester didn't get another first down.
WF West,
alone.
we didn't get to that point in the notes, though. So WF West wins 28-6 after this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I haven't seen this or anything like this in quite a while, as I haven't been to a lot of games, but yeah, good point.
Big day for Gage Brumfield for the Bearcats, though. 138 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground.
They WFS ran for nearly 250 yards and all 4 of their touchdowns. And then you've covered the whistle shenanigans.
Yes.
Go. Give us the update.
I was just about to say, you mentioned Rochester earlier. By far their worst day on the ground, 133, but their average is still above 400. So
that's not bad.
They're doing all right.
Okay. WF West, where are they at in the league race? Do they have 1 game left and then it's over? Or they have a moderately sized league now, right?
Yeah. So the EVCO, we got EVCO standings at the bottom of this. The EVCO is 4 games into the league standings and like actually has league
As
standings.
they should be.
Yeah. It's kind of nice, actually.
All right. We'll get to the standings in a minute then. Elma comes back against Black Hills to win 41-35. This is a non-league game. The Wolves led 21-0 in the second and 28-14 at halftime. But Elma went on a 34-0 run in the second half.
At this point, you're almost, I hate to say it's a meme, but man, Black Hills, just poor Black Hills, man.
Tragic
that's
season.
tough.
They've led in the second half in each of their past 4 games, or been tied.
Yeah, they're not getting blown out most of the time. They're
0-6 with 1 blowout loss, and have also led last game and the game before they were tied at halftime, and the game before that they were leading with 2 minutes left, and the game before that I think they were leading with 2 minutes left.
all right. Centralia also fell to 0-6. They lost to Shelton 20-6. Shelton had almost 400 yards of offense, but Centralia's defense kept them in it by forcing 3 turnovers. So that's a positive. Terrell Sanders had some success through the air, throwing for 131 yards without an interception.
And the downside was the rushing offense, which got -2 yards.
Oh, that could have been better.
Yeah.
Either Centralia or Black Hills will get their first win on Friday when they face each other.
Yeah. This was the first Centralia Shelton. I guess it was somebody had to win for league because Shelton, I think, had a non-league win. Mm-hmm. So.
And then Tumwater destroys Aberdeen 55-0.
Just in general, this is what Tumwater does. Aberdeen was undefeated.
Oh, really?
And this happened.
Wow. They were up 27-0 at halftime, thanks to 2 passing touchdowns from Ethan Kastner. Cooper Clark took the opening kickoff of the second half, and after a defensive stop, David Malroy scored on a punt return touchdown. Tumwater's defense allowed just 85 total yards.
They're good. They're really, really good.
And now for
Actual
the EPCO standings. Tumwater in first place, 3-0. And then we've got a tie for second, WF West and Rochester, although WF West has the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Aberdeen is 2-1. Shelton is 1-2, and Black Hills and Centralia are both winless. So finally, some real standings to look at. 7 whole teams.
Yeah, and we're still at the point where, I mean, it's 4.
Anything could happen.
Well, no, I was actually going to say the other way. 4 crossover spots.
So still got a shot.
Basically, 4 wins gets you into the crossover. 3 wins probably gets you into the crossover, unless Shelton wins out now. So
How many EVCO teams make a crossover?
I just said 4.
Well,
God, Dylan.
That's
Kody.
Kody.
damn it, Dylan.
Fools.
Dylan over there, like, what the
Just catching strays.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dylan. You know what? I think we all need to cool off
down a
after
little
that.
bit. Yep.
Great time to talk about our friends at AmeriCool Heating and Air Conditioning.
I was just setting up the AmeriCool ad this whole time.
Yeah, great work. Your comfort is their business, offering full-service HVAC installation, services, and repair with a 100% satisfaction guarantee on everything they do,
Just like us.
just like this podcast.
Thanks,
Anything
Kody.
you need, they'll inspect your indoor air quality, work on new construction homes, commercial HVAC. You know, just come fix your stuff. If you're too hot or too cold at any time of the night, you can call them at 360-948-2410. They offer 24/7 emergency service, or maybe they'll just talk to you. You know, be like, "Hey, it's too hot over here," and they'll be like, "Man, that sucks."
Just call them at 2 a.m. and they're like, man, thank you. I'm so lonely.
Yeah, like me too.
Need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, sometimes that'll cool you off. Anyway, yeah, visit them online, west.americoolonline.com. And now, quotes/comments of the week on last week's grid picks. Somebody wrote, "Happy to see they finally picked Tenino," and they were right. And Josh, you would like to point something out?
I've picked Tenino 6 of the 7 weeks.
I've been burned
and
by
s-
picking tonight.
and
also
such
as
has
well.
such has gotten me 5 losses.
Do you guys want the WIA posted RPI rankings today? Do you want to talk about some of the comments?
I saw that there actually is an AP poll, and we've just not been invited to it.
Oh, maybe you just need to email somebody.
Yeah, too lazy for that.
This one kid writes, "We demand cross country." And also the same kid writes, "I'm not seeing those cross country rankings, Big Bud." And then cross country lives matter. And then somebody else writes, "Toledo at 2, ? Make it make sense."
Wait, is Toledo actually at 2?
Yes.
Toledo is actually at 2.
Oh, good Lord.
Napavine at 4.
Northwest Christian is number 1, a team that will definitely be in the championship game.
Undefeated Northwest Christian.
Yeah, sure. Who have they beaten? Chihuahua and
Yeah, actually.
all right, there we go. Let's
Semi-finalist
see.
Chihuahua. I think they beat Liberty Spangle, too.
Oh well,
Soton making noise at 10.
yeah. So in the 10, Awney at 8, and in the 2As, Tumwater's number 7. Nobody else locally ranked. And in the 1Bs,
Mossy Rock?
no love for Mossy Rock.
No.
Oh.
Nothing.
Also in volleyball, Adna's number 1, Napavine's number 4. And in the 1Bs for volleyball, nobody ranked. And in the 2As for volleyball, Tumwater's 5. I think that's probably all we need to discuss, really.
Until we get the cross country rankings.
Those damn cross-country. Again, athletic.net exists. You can just go look whenever you want. They're not rankings.
It doesn't weight the course. It doesn't weight how good the people you are running against.
What if the real numbers?
What if the pace
Somebody
is
has to
slow?
take weather into account.
I actually did. I think I forgot to tell you this on the podcast last time. It was right before we podcasted. I was thinking how this would affect RPI. I was out at Stan Headwall for it was Centralia and Rochester at WF West, and they ran the race, and the times were a little slower than usual. They ran the girls' race, and the times were a little slower than usual, and they got the boys' race, went out, and one of the officials, who I think was the WF West coach, went out, came back 5 minutes later, was like, yeah, someone moved a cone. And they were like, what? It's like somebody on one of the soccer fields moved the cone. And they were like, well, does it affect anything? It's like, yeah, it makes the course about 150 yards longer.
That's awesome. That's
what you need RPI for.
Yeah, I guess. Also, like the weather argument, do the other places in the state not have weather?
This is really really random and doesn't really pertain to Lewis County. My mom and I, one time on the 4th of July, I turned on ESPN. No joke, Nathan's hot dog eating contest was on, and someone was talking about how the rain was coming in.
Yeah.
And that the weather was a factor. And
Yeah, it soaks the buns, man.
my mom thought it was the
wouldn't that make
funniest
them
thing in
go
the
down
world.
faster?
I also went out to cross country at ADNA, and I didn't realize that ADNA's quote unquote cross country quote unquote course is just running around the football field and then behind the football field.
Yeah, don't they hit the trail and come back or something?
Yeah, there's like no elevation and half of it's on a track.
Yeah, there's the rails to trails, and there's like a 2x4 that goes across the creek to get
Yeah,
there. Across
count it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's cross country. It's not track.
yeah.
Well,
You got to run around the country a little bit, and then you come back.
Is a
and-
track. It's not like you have to go through anything tough terrain.
It sounds like Kody just described. You got to run
I mean,
across a
it's
2x4
cross-country,
bridge.
It's not a Sparta race,
They
Josh.
could put up like the steeplechase. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, little
think-
pools.
I think they should dig out some of that field so it goes up and down and up and down. You have to avoid some anthills or something.
Just gonna build like a motocross course out
That's
there
what
and be
it
like
sounds
run
like.
around this
There it
children.
is.
I mean, that would be kind
catch
of
some air
Oh.
cool.
off the jumps.
Grid picks. Let's take a look at what we got. This week's games. This is week 7. Oh boy. Standings up. Oh, you got Dave Montgomery. Was he the guest this week?
He was the guest this week.
All right. Standings update. Josh is 57-16. Dylan and I are 56-17. Jordan 59-14. He's in the lead. Kody 49-24. He's making a comeback. And then Chad at 37-36. The litmus test for how Lewis County fares against the rest of the world.
Above 500 this week.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This week's games.
I realized we don't actually have the spreadsheet complete online. Oh, well.
Oh, Jordan only missed 2 last week. I missed 3. Dylan missed 2. Everybody missed that Black Hills Elma game except Isabel, who picked Elma as a guest.
In the On Alaska game.
Yeah. Everybody missed on Alaska. All right. This week's games. Black Hills at Centralia. Everybody's got Black Hills. No love for the Tigers? Think they can't do it?
I mean, I'll be interested to see what happens when Black Hills is up by like 10 points with
They got to win one of
7
these, right?
minutes
Yeah.
left.
Black Hills is never safe with the lead.
Yeah.
Whoever wins, it will be very good for them. I'll just say that.
Prairie at WF West. This is WF West homecoming game.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Prairie, I looked up, they're like 1-4.
They're 1-5, I think, but it's 1-5 against Vancouver 3As and 4As. So
Yeah.
like those are all pretty quality wins. They beat Kelso.
All right.
That's something.
Well, we all took WF West except Jordan, who took Prairie.
I had no idea who Prairie was, and I was like barely awake when I made these selections. So
That's your
All right.
excuse. You're just loading up on the excuses.
I didn't know
early.
they beat Kelso. So.
Getting them ready early.
I mean, it's one of those. They're a 3A, so even if they're not, the best 3A, that's still depth and size.
So because I've done this before, and I'm not sure if it's too late or not, but if I change my picks live on the podcast, does that go into the paper, or is it
No.
too
No,
late?
paper's made.
Oh, but do I still get the
No.
pick right?
No, you can't just hedge and pick both teams. You're like, oh.
I always think about that because
Well, which one do
'cause I-
you do them on the spreadsheet or the paper?
I put mine on the actual paper and I always forget to put them on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, so the paper. I always think about that because I'm a guest on the TDN grid picks, and I'm like, what if when it's one that involves our team and we're both picking it? Like, what if I pick one on one and one on the other?
You can't lose.
Let's see. Aberdeen or Rochester. Everybody went Rochester.
This is a big one. Like, this is actually probably
I sound like Chris Collins. This is a big one.
This is
Jordan
the big
went
one,
Aberdeen.
folks. Huh?
Jordan
Jordan.
went Aberdeen.
Jordan went
Yeah,
Aberdeen.
well, he's not in the room.
This is
True.
This is the one for third place, pretty much. Maybe even second if WF West trips up or something. I mean, Rochester keeps getting into those games again. Their season started beating all the not great teams. Now they are getting the tougher opponents. I mean, Aberdeen, I think I was joking with Dylan about this. Is like our lenses are so on Lewis County when in reality, like the story of the past calendar year has been Aberdeen figuring out its athletic department because like their softball team won league and their boys soccer team won league. Their football team is like 4-2. They haven't won 5 games in like a decade. They're just kind of like off in the West quietly having a really good year just as an athletic department. So. Yeah.
I mean, Aberdeen winning the softball league, like, you got to throw an asterisk on that. Like, literally anybody could have won, regardless of their play on the field.
And Aberdeen was
that
one of
turned
them.
out. It came down to, like, a coin flip that was false or something. Oh, what a wild season that was. Anyway, Shelton to Tumwater. Everybody went Tumwater. Tenino at Elma.
Dave Montgomery picked Tenino, shockingly.
I think, you picked Tenino. I think I picked Tenino.
Elma's like 3-2, and I'm not going to call any high school team fraudulent, but 3-2 with wins over Centralia, Black Hills, and Hoquiam, which is not the best resume.
Yeah.
So I think this could be interesting.
All right. Adna at Toledo. Everybody went Toledo, including Kody.
Except for Chad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
I hate to vote for Toledo, but I'm never going to hear the end of this if Adna picks up this W.
Yeah, you're not. Kalama at Napavine. Kalama riding high after knocking off on Alaska.
This is going to could be a good matchup.
Yeah, it could. Is this the
Might not
toughest 2B team Napavine's played?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably.
That game got moved to Saturday, right?
Yeah,
You're
that's
saying?
on Saturday.
We're expecting
Saturday
a big
at 7,
crowd.
Apparently.
Rainier at Tootle Lake. I mean, Rainier and Tootle Lake, are they going to go 8-man for this one just
I
because?
think it's going to be an 11-man, but I would expect Rainier to put up another 80 points.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. Stevenson and Onalaska. Is Onalaska a tough place to play if you're driving all the way from Stevenson? And it's 3.5 hours according to
Cody. When you're driving from Stevenson.
Feel bad for those kids, man.
Everybody's got Ani there. Bortnoy Pass at Asotin.
Versus
Do we know
Asotin.
anything? Where is this? Like
They're
Yakima?
they're playing in what is it, Kamiakin, and they're in the Tri-Cities.
Okay. Why?
I don't know.
All right.
I
Everybody's
looked
got
up.
Asotin.
I had to look up where Asotin is.
It's in the bottom right-hand corner of the state.
It is the border.
Yeah.
It's a long
It is
way away.
Idaho.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is all the way down there.
Why are we doing this?
All right. Nobody thinks Bortnoy Pass can pull it off. We'll see.
Low key, this is the first East-West matchup we've had, so this is the only measuring stick we're going to get before the playoffs, really. So I think Asotin is 4-1 with wins over Chihuahua and Spangle or whatever. So if a 1-4
Sure.
Morton White Pass gives
Well,
them
they
a
stumped
game-
Colotus the other weekend.
Exactly. Like if Morton White Pass gives them a game at 1-4 here, I think that's kind of this is where things measure up.
Okay. Raymond South Bend at PL Willapa Valley.
Clash of the Hyphens trophy on the line.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like the battle for Willapa Harbor.
Oh my God, a rivalry name within a rivalry name? You're going all out.
Clash of the Hyphens, battle for Willapa Harbor. Yeah, something like that. Everybody's got Raymond South Bend. Jordan's got PL Valley. Did I take Raymond South Bend or Valley?
I don't remember.
I can't either.
Montgomery took PL Valley.
All right. Yeah, that should be a good game, right?
Yeah, probably. It was a good game last year.
Okay. Oakville at Sound Christian. Everybody's got Oakville
Except for Montgomery.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nacelle at Mossrock. Everybody's got Mossrock, probably just because they want them to beat Nacelle.
I was really on the fence about this one and ended up just going with Mossy, but
Nacelle's
it
looked
took
a lot
me
better.
about 60 seconds of going back and forth to
Call
actually.
this the 100-mile rivalry.
That's how I was with Tenina Elma. I went back and forth like 6 times.
Winlock at Muckleshoot. Everybody went Winlock.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that on the casino grounds?
Maybe it's in Puyallup.
Where is Muckleshoot? Oh, yeah. Is it Puyallup?
Or no, Auburn? Something like that. I looked them
Is
up.
it?
Yeah, they're in Auburn. They're kind of near the
Yeah,
casino.
they are. Okay. Yeah, they are near the
They're
casino.
kind of nice. I remember I looked up
I bet they
some
do.
stuff online. They've got a nice looking campus.
Let's see. Other sports. Tumwater added Napavine volleyball. Still good.
Yep. Tumwater just beat Black Hills, swept them for the second time. So we'll get into standings after this, but yeah.
Adna and Napavine play there. It's the second time they've met, but it's the one that counts toward the league standings tomorrow. I know both schools have been looking forward to that rematch for a while. Napavine is Napavine has one loss, and that loss is Adna, and Adna's still undefeated. So that'll be a big game.
Okay. Centralia WF West volleyball and soccer are coming Tuesday.
Yep.
Got any predictions on those?
The Chronicle Cup shall be awarded. I should probably tell Chad that I need him to be there.
To roll on out there with his, maybe he'll have his fancy golf cart, his Pit Vipers, and the whole deal. Other sport. What about WFS Centralia Golf took place?
It did. Von Wasson didn't win.
I saw you shot a 46. Is he
I was
okay?
surprised. I don't know. I was there to take photos.
Was it weather?
I mean, everybody had to be in the weather.
That's true.
Fox Rogerson won for WF West. WF West, all this time we talk about, when was the last time Centralia beat WF West at soccer? When was the last time Centralia beat WF West at football? When was the last time WF West beat Centralia at golf? Because that happened twice this year.
All right. Let's see. Standings updates for EBCO volleyball. Tumwater won at 8-0. Black Hills has 6-2. Aberdeen 5-2. Centralia 4-4. Shelton 2-5. WFS 2-6. Rochester 0-8. The top three go to districts. Fourth gets the pigtail.
4 games left.
Kind of looks settled.
Yeah,
Centralia
pretty
in the
much.
pigtail probably.
Yeah.
All right, 2 EBCO soccer. Tumwater undefeated. Centralia 5-3. WFS 5-3. Playoff implications for the Chronicle Cup?
100%.
Fantastic.
And WF West just beat Aberdeen, I believe, for the second time, so they have that tiebreaker. I don't know what Centralia did against Aberdeen, but you got a good chance of them finishing 2-3.
Okay.
And both avoiding the pigtail, which would be great for both programs.
1A Evergreen. Top three go to districts, and Tenino is in third at 2-2 in league.
In volleyball.
In volleyball. In soccer, they're in fourth at 1-3.
I was out at Tenino soccer yesterday in an absolute monsoon, and absolutely nothing could happen because it was just raining so hard, and Aberdeen won 1-0 on a penalty kick in the 60th minute on a very controversial handball.
What fun.
It was very wet.
C2BL volleyball, the top 8 or 9 to districts. Nobody
No clue.
knows.
Yeah.
Napavine and Adna are tied in first place. When do they play?
Tomorrow.
Where at?
Napavine.
Napavine. He said with confidence.
Yeah. Two Lakes at third, Rainier fourth, Onalaska Kalama tied in fifth, Toledo seventh. Then you got Windlock, Mordoi Pass, and Wakayakum. Napavine and Adna, if you had to make a pick for a district champion, would you take one of those? And if so, which one?
I would take one of them, yes.
Go on.
Them versus the field, it's them.
Okay.
I will lean Adna,
I would probably lean Adna. We'll definitely see tomorrow.
but it's close. for
It's
sure.
and it's 5 to state, and now that Carson Freeman isn't at Raymond, I think you could seriously see 5 Central 2B teams making it.
Okay.
So you got to think Napavine, Adna, probably Tootle, probably Rainier, and I mean Kalama just because they're Kalama, but like you see an Ani go on a run. Onalaska's running with they said 1 senior, 1 junior, 3 freshmen, and 6 8th graders, and they're winning, which is cool. They're a team. They're going to be really good in 2 years, but if they can arrive a year early, they might be even able to go on a run this year.
And then C2BL soccer, Kalama's in first, Adna and Napavine tied for second. Then you got Onalaska, Ocosta, Raymond South Bend, and Tootle Lake.
And
Kalama, the cream of the crop.
yeah, no, they're not going to get touched.
Okay.
I don't know.
Toledo's in eighth.
Yeah, I don't know when that Adna Kalama game is, or Adna Napavine, but yeah, no, Kalama's the real deal.
All right. Do you guys know what you're covering Friday night?
Friday night.
I do not.
You're going to go to Aberdeen Rochester. We're going to have a spread because Crawler and Isabella are also going to be on cameras. Kody's going to be at Aberdeen Rochester. Dylan's doing the 8-man thing for the Mossy Nacelle game. I'll be at Toledo for Toledo Adna.
Who's shooting Black Hills Centralia?
Either Jared or Isabel, they hadn't decided how they were going to split it up. And the
other one will shoot WF West.
Yeah, I think the other one's going to shoot WFS Homecoming. And then
Who's going to cover Morton White Pass, Asotin in the Tri-Cities?
do we know anybody? Do we know anybody at the Tri-City Herald?
Isn't what's his face Roseanne over there?
Maybe. Yeah, Thompson's in Yakima. I'm not going to ask Matt Beatty to cover Tumwater Shelton for us. I thought about it for a second.
Oh, why not?
I don't want to do that to poor Shelton.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure Matt would have fun. It's 30 seconds from his house. And you can follow, where can you, an enterprising young social media user follow the Chronicle on Twitter and Instagram? Do you guys want to discuss that? Cody, do you want to talk about your Insta game?
Well, I guess I can give the weekly update on what the followers is looking like.
Is there like, if something happens, will you do something to commemorate it? Like, you gonna light yourself on fire if you get to 1,000, or
I do not get paid enough to do that. No.
put a new
Feels
roof
a bit
on this
extreme
building?
for just 1,000.
Yeah. It's up to almost 600 now in a little over a month. So good progress on the Instagram. I don't know what the Facebook looks like.
Yeah,
Facebook.
I mean, who does?
Yeah.
And you can also follow
Outdated.
Cronline Sports on Twitter. What's the Instagram handle?
The Chronicle Sports.
Okay.
Go on, shout out. Who just followed us? Who's our favorites right now?
Who just followed us?
Yeah, we got any recent people? We can't like read reviews or whatever, but like,
I don't know.
didn't I see we got like a message from Toledo or something?
Well, if you opened it, then that means the notification was gone.
Oh.
So I didn't see it. We got a heart response to our post. From
There it is.
Toledo Athletics.
Go Riverhawks.
Wow.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Riverhawks. We appreciate that so much out here at the Chronicle Sports Graham
This is getting
headquarters.
sad. Can we stop this part?
We're talking about Cody's success here. What's sad about that?
It's like a senior citizen on an AM radio show. It just reminds me, like, there was when Twitter was first getting going, there was this guy was coaching basketball down there at some school down there, and I like followed him, and he tweeted like, "And a big thank you to Cron AVT for the follow. I can't wait to see more of your interesting posts." And I was like, I regret this already. This is going to be bad.
You're the one that put me on the spot to talk about the Instagram, man. What am I supposed to say?
At least you got your name right this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for listening, and go follow Cody's work at the Chronicle Sports on Instagram, and send him a heart message. He likes us.